do these railway coaches reach the railway track from the place they are manufactured? These are carried long distances, even sometime over different countries, and finally reach the track where they are supposed to run. The bridge under construction needs various building materials at the place where it is constructed. How did the raw materials used in construction reach the area of its demand? Goods and services do not move from supply locales to demand locales on their own. These are needed to be carried from supply location to demand location. Thus, the means through which goods and services move from their supply locations to demand locations is known as transportation. Some people are engaged in facilitating these movements. These are known to be traders who make the products come to the consumers by transportation. Thus, the pace of development of a country depends not only upon the production of goods and services, but also their movement over space. Therefore, efficient means of transport are prerequisites for fast development of a nation. Movement of these goods and services take place over three important domains of our earth: land, water, and air. Based on these, transport can also be classified into land, water, and air transport. Land transport can be further divided into roadways, railways, and pipelines. Transportation through water can be inland and overseas. The same way, air transport can be domestic or international. With the development in science and technology, the area of influence of trade and transport expanded far and wide. The world has been converted into a large village with the help of efficient and fast-moving transport. India has one of the largest road networks in the world, aggregating to about 3.3 million kilometers as per record of National Highway Authority of India 2011. Roads have an edge over railways in view of the ease with which they can be built and maintained. Can you infer the reasons for growing importance of road transport in our country? Construction cost of roads is much lower than that of railway lines. Secondly, roads can traverse comparatively more dissected and undulating topography. Roads can negotiate higher gradients of slopes and as such can traverse mountains such as the Himalayas. Road transport is economical in transportation of few persons and relatively smaller amount of goods over short distances. It also provides door-to-door service, thus the cost of loading and unloading is much lower. Road transport is also used as a feeder to other modes of transport, such as they provide a link between railway stations, air and seaports. In India, roads are classified in the 6 classes according to their capacity. They are Golden Quadrilateral Superhighways, National Highways, State Highways, District Roads, other roads linking rural areas, and border roads. The government has launched a major road development project, Golden Quadrilateral Superhighways, linking Delhi-Kolkata, Kolkata-Chennai, Chennai-Mumbai, and Mumbai-Delhi by 6-lane superhighways. The North-South corridors linking Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir, and Kanyakumari, that is in Tamil Nadu, and East-West corridor connecting Silchar, Assam, and Porbandar in Gujarat are part of this project. The major objective of these superhighways is to reduce the time and distance between the megacities of India. Projects are being implemented by the National Highway Authority of India, NHAI. National highways link extreme parts of the country. The national highways are laid and maintained by the Central Public Works Department, CPWD. The historical Sher Shah Suri Marg is called National Highway No. 1 between Delhi and Amritsar. Can you find out the places linked by National Highway 2 and 3? National Highway 2 connects New Delhi and Kolkata, and National Highway 3 links Agra and Mumbai. National Highway 7 is the longest and traverses 2,369 kilometers between Varanasi and Kanyakumari via Jabalpur, Nagpur, Hyderabad, Bangalore and Madurai. Delhi and Mumbai are connected by National Highway 8, and National Highway 15 covers a large part of Rajasthan. Roads linking a state capital with different district headquarters are known as state highways. State roads are constructed and maintained by the State Public Works Department, PWD, in state and union territories. District roads connect the district headquarters with other places of the district. These roads are maintained by the Zilla Parishad. There are some other roads such as rural roads which link rural areas and villages with towns. How did these rural roads receive special impetus during recent years? These roads received special impetus under the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. Under this scheme, special provisions are made so that every village in the country is linked to a major town in the country by an all-season motorable road. Border Roads Organization, a Government of India undertaking established in 1960, constructs and maintains roads in the bordering areas of the country. Can you infer the significance of border roads? The roads are of immense strategic importance in the northern and northeastern border areas. Moreover, border roads have improved accessibility in areas of difficult terrain and have helped in the economic development of these areas. Distribution of road is not uniform in the country. Distribution can be assessed with the density of roads. The length of road per 100 square kilometer of area is known as density of roads. Density of all roads varies from only 10 kilometers in Jammu and Kashmir to 375 kilometers in Kerala. The national average of road density is 75 kilometers. Keeping in view the volume of traffic and passengers, the road network is inadequate. About half of the roads are unmetalled, and this limits their usage during the rainy season. The roadways are highly congested in cities, and most of the bridges and culverts are old and narrow. Railways are the principal mode of transportation for freight and passengers in India. Can you state some advantages of rail transport in our country? Railways makes possible to conduct multifarious activities like business, sightseeing, pilgrimage, along with transportation of goods over longer distances. Indian railways have been a great integrating force for more than 150 years. Railways in India bind the economic life of the country as well as accelerate the development of the industry and agriculture. The Indian Railway has a network of 7,031 stations spread over route length of 63,221 kilometers, with a fleet of 7,817 locomotives, 5,321 passenger service vehicles, 4,904 other coach vehicles, and 228 wagons as on March 31, 2004. The Indian Railways is the largest public sector undertaking in the country. The first train steamed off from Mumbai to Thane in 1853, covering a distance of 34 kilometers. Have a look at the table to know the Indian Railway network running on multiple gauge operations extended over 63,221 kilometer route. The Indian Railway is now reorganized into 16 zones. The distribution pattern of the railway network in the country has been largely influenced by physiographic, economic, and administrative factors. The northern plains, with their vast level land, high population density, and rich agricultural resources, provided the most favorable condition for the growth of railways. In the hilly terrains of the peninsular region, railway tracks are laid through low hills, gaps, or tunnels. Can you find out the regions with sparse network of railways? Himalayan mountainous regions too are unfavorable for the construction of railway lines due to high relief, sparse population, and lack of economic opportunities. It was difficult to lay railway lines on the sandy plain of western Rajasthan, swamps of Gujarat, forested tracts of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Orissa, and Jharkhand. Development of the Konkan Railway along the west coast has facilitated the movement of passengers and goods in this most important economic region of India. Presently, the railways have become more important in our national economy than all other means of transport put together. However, rail transport suffers from certain problems such as passengers traveling without tickets, thefts, and damaging of railway property, stopping the train by pulling chains unnecessarily, delaying from scheduled time, etc. Another important transport network, pipelines, are added to transportation system of India. Pipelines are used for transporting crude oil, petroleum products, and natural gas from oil and natural gas fields to refineries, fertilizer factories, and big thermal power plants. Initial cost of laying pipelines is high, but subsequent running costs are minimal. It rules out transshipment losses or delays. There are three important networks of pipeline transportation in the country. Pipelines from oil field in Upper Assam to Kanpur via Guwahati, Barauni, and Allahabad is an important route for transportation of oil. It has branches from Barauni to Haldia and Guwahati to Siliguri. Another route of pipelines connect Salaya in Gujarat and Jalandhar in Punjab via Viramgam, Mathura, Delhi, and Sonipat. It also branches to connect Koyali near Vadodara, Gujarat, Chakshu, and other places. HVJ natural gas pipeline from Hazira in Gujarat connects Jagdishpur in Uttar Pradesh via Vijaypur in Madhya Pradesh. It also branches to Kota in Rajasthan, Shahjahanpur, Babrala, and other places in Uttar Pradesh. Land transport system, roadways, railways, including the pipelines, play an important role in economic development of the nation. Convenient mode of transport to reach difficult hilly terrains of our country. These containers with heavy materials inside need to be exported from India to Australia. What would be the most convenient and cheapest way of transport for exporting these goods? Waterways are most suitable and cheapest means of transport for carrying heavy and bulky goods. Water transport is a fuel-efficient and environment-friendly mode of transport. India is one of the seafaring countries. Since history, its seamen sailed far and near, thus carrying and spreading Indian commerce and culture. India's trade with foreign countries is carried from the ports located along the coast. 95% of the country's trade volume is moved by sea, that accounts 68% in terms of value. With a long coastline of 7,516.6 kilometers, India is dotted with 12 major and 181 medium and minor ports. These major ports handle 95% of India's foreign trade. The tidal port Kandla in Kutch was the first port developed soon after independence to ease the volume of trade on the Mumbai port. Can you infer the importance of Kandla port? Kandla is an important port as it conveniently handles of exports and imports of highly productive granary and industrial belt of northern India stretching across the states of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and Gujarat. Mumbai is the biggest port with a spacious, natural and well-sheltered harbour. The Jawaharlal Nehru port was planned with a view to decongest the Mumbai port and serve as a hub port for this region. Marmagao port in Goa is the premier iron ore exporting port of the country. This port accounts for about 50% of India's iron ore export. New Mangalore port, located in Karnataka, caters to the export of iron ore concentrates from Kudremukh mines. Kochi is the extreme southwestern port, located at the entrance of a lagoon with a natural harbour. In the eastern coast, Tuticorin port has a natural harbour and rich hinterland. It has a flourishing trade handling of a large variety of cargoes to even our neighbouring countries like Sri Lanka, Maldives, etc. and the coastal regions of India. Chennai is one of the oldest artificial ports of the country. It is ranked next to Mumbai in terms of volume of trade and cargo. Visakhapatnam is the deepest landlocked and well-protected port. How a port can be landlocked? The port is surrounded by land on its three sides, that is why it's called as landlocked. Visakhapatnam port was originally conceived as an outlet for iron ore exports. Paradweep port, located in Orissa, also specialized in the export of iron ore. Why are these ports in the eastern coast specialized in export of iron ore? These ports in the eastern coast serve as points for exporting iron ore found in the mines present in nearby plateau region. Kolkata is an inland riverine port. This port serves a very large and rich hinterland of Ganga-Brahmaputra basin. Being a tidal port, it requires constant dredging of Hooghly River. Haldia port was developed as a subsidiary port in order to relieve growing pressure on the Kolkata port. India has inland navigation waterways of 14,500 kilometers in length. Out of these, only 3,700 kilometers are navigable by mechanized boats. Some of the waterways declared as the national waterways by the government are National Waterways Number 1 in the Ganga River between Allahabad and Haldia, which covers 1,620 kilometers. National Waterways Number 2 in the Brahmaputra River between Sadia and Dhubri, that covers 891 kilometers. National Waterways Number 3 in the West Coast Canal in Kerala includes Kottaparma-Komman, Udyogamandal and Champakara, that covers 205 kilometers. The other viable inland waterways include the Godavari, Krishna, Barak, Sundarbans, Buckingham Canal, Brahmani, East Coast Canal and Damodar Valley Corporation Canal. What would be the most convenient means of transport to reach this area? Such mountainous regions can be reached easily through air transport. Air transport can cover very difficult terrains like high mountains, dreary deserts, dense forests, and also long oceanic stretches with great ease. The northeastern part of the country is marked with the presence of big rivers, dissected relief, dense forests, and frequent floods and international frontiers, etc. Air travel has made access easier in the northeastern region. The air transport in India was nationalized in 1953. On the operational side, Indian Airlines and other private scheduled airlines and non-scheduled operators provide domestic air services. Air India, Indian Airlines, and some other private airlines such as Jet Airways, Kingfisher Airlines provide international air services. Can you name some of the countries connected by Indian Airlines? Indian Airlines covers major destinations from Kuwait in the Middle East to Singapore in East Asia. It is operated between 58 countries including Qatar, UAE, Malaysia, Thailand, Pakistan, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. Have a look at the map to view the major domestic and international airports of the country. Pawan Hans Helicopters Limited provides helicopter services to Oil and Natural Gas Corporation in its offshore operations. Pawan Hans also provides services to inaccessible areas and difficult terrains like northeastern states and the interior parts of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Though air travel is not economically affordable to a major section of the society, it is the fastest, most comfortable and prestigious mode of transport. On March 11, 2011, a devastating earthquake occurred at East Coast, Japan in Tohoku region. The same day, within minutes, the news got spread all over the world. What made it possible to spread the news within such a short span of time? Advanced means of communication made global distance shorter. Long-distance communication is far easier without physical movement of the communicator or receiver. Communication can be personal communication and mass communication. Mass communication such as television, radio, press, films, etc. are the major means of communication in the country. How does anyone receive the BSNL telephone bill or the permanent account number card or the passport? These are sent through the Indian Postal Department. Do you know that the Indian Postal Network is the largest in the world? It handles parcels as well as personal written communications. Cards and envelopes are considered first-class mail and are airlifted between stations covering both land and air. The second-class mail includes book packets, registered newspapers and periodicals. They are carried by surface mail covering land and water transport. However, there is an option to choose the category and send emergency mails through air. To facilitate quick delivery of mails in large towns and cities, 6 mail channels have been introduced. They are called Rajdhani Channel, Metro Channel, Green Channel, Business Channel, Bulk Mail Channel and Periodical Channel. India has one of the largest telecom networks in Asia. Excluding urban places, more than 2/3 of the villages in India have already been covered with subscriber trunk dialing (STD) telephone facility. In order to strengthen the flow of information from the grassroots to the higher level, the government has made special provision to extend 24 hours STD facility to every village in the country. There is a uniform rate of STD facilities all over India. Indian Telecom Network had 787.29 million connections by 31st December 2010, with 752.2 million wireless connections and became the second largest wireless network connected in the world after China. Over 18 million connections are being added every month. Overall, tele-density has reached 66.17% with 148% in urban areas and 31.22% in rural areas. Tele-density refers to the number of landline telephones in use for every 100 individuals living within an area. As per December 31, 2010, the public sector telecom Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited (BSNL) has 38,141 telephone exchanges all over the country. There is hike in the petrol price decided by Government of India. How do you think the people all over India will get to know about the price hike the same day itself? Various means of mass communication plays an important role in spreading news across the world. Mass communication provides entertainment and creates awareness among people about various national programs and policies. Mass communication includes radio, television, newspapers, magazines, books, and films. All India Radio, Akashvani, broadcasts a variety of programs in national, regional, and local languages for various categories of people spread over different parts of the country. Doordarshan, the national television channel of India, is one of the largest terrestrial networks in the world. It broadcasts a variety of programs like entertainment, education, sports, etc. for people of different age groups. However, India is well covered with even various private network of radio and television channels. India publishes a large number of newspapers and periodicals annually. Newspapers are published in about 100 languages and dialects. The largest number of newspapers published in the country are in Hindi, followed by English and Urdu. India is the largest producer of feature films in the world. The Central Board of Film Certification is the authority to certify both Indian and foreign films. What do you observe in the picture? Both are engaged in buying and selling activity. In other words, the shopkeeper is exchanging goods for money. The exchange of goods among people, states, and countries is referred to as trade. The market is a place where such exchanges take place. Trade may take place in villages, towns, and cities, or different states and countries. Trade carried out in cities, towns, and villages are known as local trade. State-level trade is carried between two or more states. Trade between two countries is called international trade. Advancement of international trade of a country is an index to its economic prosperity. It is considered as India's economic barometer. Why is international trade considered as country's economic barometer? Export and import is necessary for all the countries as the resources are space-bound. The amount of export and import or balance of trade reflects the economy of the country. When the value of export exceeds the value of imports, it is called a favorable balance of trade. But if the value of imports exceed the value of exports, it is termed as unfavorable balance of trade. India has trade relations with all the major trading blocs and all geographical regions of the world. Can you name some of the commodities that India exports? Among the commodities of export with increasing share over the last few years till 2004-2005 are agriculture and allied products 2.53%, ores and minerals 9.12%, gems and jewelry 26.75%, chemical and allied products 24.45%, engineering goods 35.63%, and petroleum products 86.12%. The commodities imported to India include petroleum and petroleum products 41.87%, pearls and precious stones 29.26%, inorganic chemicals 29.39%, coal, coke and briquettes 94.17%, machinery 12.56%. Some of the bulk imports include fertilizers 67.01%, cereals 25.23%, edible oil 7.94%, and newsprint 5.51%. In recent years, exchange of commodities and goods have been superseded by exchange of information and knowledge. India has emerged as a software giant at the international level, and it is earning large foreign exchange through the export of information technology. You must have seen people from various countries visiting the attractive places in our country. Tourism in India has grown substantially over the last 3 decades. Over 2.6 million foreign tourists visit India every year. Can you infer the importance of tourism sector in our country? Tourism in India earned Rs 21,828 crore of foreign exchange in the year 2004 itself. More than 15 million people are directly engaged in the tourism industry. Tourism also promotes national integration, provides support to local handicrafts and cultural pursuits. It also helps in the development of international understanding about our culture and heritage. Rajasthan, Goa, Jammu and Kashmir, and temple towns of South India, various national parks and bioreserves are important destinations of foreign tourists in India. There is vast potential of tourism development in the northeastern states and the interior parts of Himalayas. Thus, trade, commerce, and tourism are some of the important sectors feeding the economy of the country.